In the heart of Kenya's Masai Mara, as the golden sun dipped behind the acacia trees, villagers froze in terror. A boy, barefoot and wild-eyed, emerged from the tall grass. But he was not alone. Just steps behind him, a lioness watched, her amber eyes gleaming in the twilight. Then, another shadow shifted, a massive male lion, his mane catching the wind. The villagers clutched their tools, ready to flee. But the boy? He stood fearless, as if he belonged. Then, without a word, he turned and vanished back into the wilderness, the lions following. Had they just witnessed a human raised by beasts? The story of the wild boy spread like wildfire, reaching beyond the remote village into the ears of researchers, conservationists, and the media. Was it a myth, a legend? Or was there truly a child living among lions? Determined to uncover the truth, a team of wildlife experts, led by Dr. James Carter, arrived in the Masai Mara, armed with cameras, tracking equipment, and years of experience studying Africa's top predators. But nothing could prepare them for what they were about to witness. Villagers whispered conflicting tales. Some claimed the boy was a spirit sent to protect the lions. Others feared he was a lost soul trapped between two worlds. "We have seen him," an elder said, eyes clouded with uncertainty. "He does not belong to us anymore." Days turned into restless nights as the team scoured the savannah, leaving food and setting up hidden cameras. Then, just as doubt began to creep in, a grainy silhouette appeared on the monitor. It was him. Barefoot, ragged, and impossibly wild, he stood beside a lioness, his hand lightly brushing against her golden fur. The researchers held their breath as another figure emerged from the shadows, a powerful male lion. The boy, unshaken, moved in perfect harmony with them. "He's not their captive," Dr. Carter whispered in awe. "He's their kin." The realization sent shivers down their spines. This wasn't just survival. This was something far more astonishing, a bond between human and beast that defied every law of nature. Hidden cameras blinked to life in the moonlit grasslands, their silent lenses capturing something that defied all reason. There, moving through the shadows with effortless grace, was the boy. His bare feet barely disturbed the earth as he walked in perfect rhythm with the lions. His small frame was dwarfed by the powerful beasts beside him, yet there was no fear, only belonging. Dr. Evans and his team stared at the footage in stunned silence. He wasn't just surviving, he was one of them. As dawn broke over the savannah, the researchers caught their first glimpse of something extraordinary. The boy crouched by a watering hole, waiting as the lions drank. He moved only when they did, his instincts mirroring theirs. Then came the moment that sent shivers down their spines. A lioness, the same one that had been guarding him, dragged fresh prey toward him. But she didn't eat. She nudged it toward the boy. A mother feeding her cub. Dr. Evans exhaled sharply. "They've adopted him," he murmured. For days, they watched as the pride protected him, their massive forms circling him when danger lurked. Even the pride's alpha, a towering male with a golden mane, showed an unsettling tenderness, nuzzling the boy in an act of acceptance. This wasn't just a feral child lost to the wild. This was something more, something no one had ever seen before. The researchers had seen remarkable things in their careers, but nothing compared to this. The boy wasn't just surviving in the wild, he was thriving. The lions didn't see him as prey or even an outsider. He was one of them. The lioness who never left his side wasn't merely a protector, she was his mother. Every move he made, from the way he walked to the way he watched the horizon, mirrored the pride. But the moment that truly shattered all logic came when the pride's alpha male, a towering beast with a golden mane, approached him. Dr. Evans held his breath. A dominant male like this wouldn't tolerate weakness. He could swat the boy away with a single strike. Instead, the lion rumbled deep in his chest, then lowered his head and nudged the boy's shoulder, a gesture of acceptance, of kinship. The boy smiled and pressed his forehead to the lion's fur, a silent exchange that sent shivers down the researchers' spines. "This isn't just survival," Evans whispered. "He's part of their world." The weight of what they had discovered settled upon them. They weren't just looking at a child lost to the wild. They were witnessing something far more profound, a bond between man and beast so deep it defied all reason. The night was still when a sound shattered the silence: gunshots. Dr. Evans and his team jolted awake, their hearts pounding. Poachers. The danger wasn't just for the lions, it was for the boy, too. Grabbing their gear, they rushed toward the echoes of violence. What they saw sent shivers down their spines. A group of armed men stood in a clearing, rifles raised. The pride had been surrounded. But at the center of it all stood the boy, his arms outstretched, his body positioned protectively in front of the lions. His guardian, the lioness, stood beside him, muscles coiled, ready to strike. "Move, kid," one poacher barked, tightening his grip on the trigger. But the boy didn't move. Instead, something shocking happened. He growled. A deep, primal sound, one that sent chills through even the seasoned hunters. The lions stirred. Their golden eyes burned with fury. The boy wasn't just defending them. They were defending him. Dr. Evans barely had time to react. He whispered to his team, "Run!" Then, in a flash of fur and fury, the lions lunged. The poachers turned to flee, their screams swallowed by the night. And just like that, the boy disappeared back into the wild, his home, his family, forever untouchable. The search continued long after the poachers had fled, but the boy was nowhere to be found. Dr. Evans and his team scoured the savannah, following tracks that seemed to vanish into thin air. It was as if the child had been swallowed by the wilderness itself. Then, as dawn broke over the golden plains, they spotted movement near the riverbank. A familiar figure stood at the edge of the water, small, barefoot, untamed. The boy. But he wasn't alone. The lioness, his guardian, lay beside him, watching the researchers with piercing amber eyes. And nestled against her side, completely at ease, was the boy, as if he had never known another life. Dr. Evans' breath caught in his throat. The child wasn't lost. He wasn't in danger. He was exactly where he belonged. As the team took a cautious step forward, the boy turned his head, locking eyes with them for a single, haunting moment. Then, without hesitation, he placed his hand on the lioness's back, and together they disappeared into the tall grass. Dr. Evans exhaled, his heart pounding. The wild had claimed him. And for the first time, he understood. This boy didn't need saving. He was already home. Years passed, and though the boy was rarely seen, his legend grew. The Maasai villagers whispered of him under the starry skies, calling him the Lion Child, a spirit of the wild who walked among the beasts. Researchers, travelers, and journalists sought to uncover the truth, but the savannah held its secrets well. Some swore they had glimpsed him at dusk, moving like a shadow through the golden grass, always accompanied by lions. Others claimed to hear the distant roar of the pride echoing through the hills, as if calling to the boy who had become one of their own. Yet one undeniable truth remained: the land was changing. Thanks to the researchers' relentless efforts, conservation protections were put in place, keeping poachers and hunters at bay. The lions thrived, their territory untouched, and deep within their kingdom, the boy thrived with them. To those lucky enough to witness him, he was no longer just a lost child. He was something more, a legend, a guardian, a living testament to nature's unbreakable bonds. And as long as the lions roamed free, so would he. Because he was not just raised by lions, he was a lion in heart and soul.